Greetings and welcome to the Prime Directive. I'm your host Jefficho, and my co-host as always Chris. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
Today we're going to be discussing new casting and some of the Star Trek novels. Chris, what do we got so far?
Yeah, big news out of Star Trek Discovery is they have cast Rainn Wilson in the role of Harry Mudd. That's exciting. Showing us that we're not shying away from recasting characters that have already been in Star Trek. We're using new actors for old roles. Wilson is, of course, best known for his role in the American version of The Office, where he played Dwight Schrute.
I don't believe it.
Been a long time, eh?
Harry Mudd.
Well, to be absolutely accurate, Laddybuck, you should refer to me as Mudd the First.
Wilson will be taking on the role of the charismatic interstellar conman who's had a few run-ins with Kirk and Co. aboard the Enterprise. At this point, it is unknown how many episodes he will appear in. Thoughts?
I feel like bringing Harry Mudd in is fan service. It's something I'd expect for like season 2. But you know what? I'm sure this is part of Fuller's plan before he departed, with his little manuscripts and all his direction for them. So, you know, Brian Fuller I trust ever since watching him make Hannibal.
Yep. I have some similar concerns. I would really prefer if this was just a 1 or 2 episode thing. I don't want Harry Mudd as one of the main crew. Also, we know that writer Mike Johnson is going to be working closely with Kirsten Beyer on some tie-in comics for the new Discovery series.
Yeah, I feel like they're taking the Disney approach with the Star Wars canon, where they're going to try and give us a little more character information, but I don't think we're going to get too much story out of it. It'll just be like little tidbits. I'm not really much of a comic guy. I'm looking more forward to the novels.
Speaking of the Star Trek novels, the manuscript for the first Discovery novel tie-in has been completed, written by experienced Star Trek novelist David Mack. It's going to be called Desperate Hours, and according to an interview with him, it will be based on the characters, dialogue, backstory, and situations in the upcoming 2-part Discovery pilot.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a nice setup for it. Yeah, I really hope it comes out before, because I want to read that. And I've read a lot of his other previous stuff. As you see, I have a couple of his books. He's done some TNG. He did those Time to Kill ones that I sent you. He did 2 of those.
Okay.
And he also does a lot of Section 31 for DS9, which, you know, the guy loves DS9, which, you know, gets me right here.
A man after your own heart.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Julian Bashir, too, so I'm looking forward to this new novel then.
And how long have you worked for Section 31?
I don't.
Oh, just a temporary alliance, is it?
Something like that.
You don't see anything wrong with what happened, do you?
While we're on the subject, Jeff, you said you had a book series you wanted to recommend.
Yeah, you know, since we're waiting for this Star Trek series to start, I mean, there's a Star Trek series that was mostly novelized in The New Frontier by Peter David. My favorite author, Peter David, set out to create a series of books that felt like we were getting a new Star Trek show, with a combination of characters we'd seen before and new ones he created. It starts out building his characters, telling us of their past and then interweaving them together. Our captain is a rogue, unlike any captain we've seen before. His name's Mackenzie Calhoun, a very human-looking alien from the planet Xenix, with a different way of thinking. We learned that he liberated his planet as a teen, met Picard, joined Starfleet, and then had a falling out over the death of his captain on the USS Grissom. He did secret missions for Admiral Nachimov before Picard lures him back to Starfleet with the help of Ambassador Spock, and much to the chagrin of Admiral Jellicoe.
These people are struggling toward a new enlightenment. And it may take decades or even centuries for them to reach it.
The series is based in Sector 221G, home of the recent fallen Tholian Empire. A vast sector of space now in chaos and disarray. With this power vacuum, many are trying to seize control, even old enemies of the captain. So now in command of the USS Excalibur, Calhoun's mission is to keep peace and lend aid to the planets and the refugees. The Excalibur is an ambassador-class ship like the Enterprise C. They fill out his crew with a lot of interesting and fleshed-out characters. First Officer Elizabeth Shelby, who you may remember from TNG Best of Both Worlds Borg episodes.
Request permission to disembark, sir.
I picked a fine officer for the task force, Commander.
We'll have the fleet back up in less than a year.
But it's nice to know I'll have a few options.
I hope I have the fortune of serving with you again, sir.
Robin Leffler, played by Ashley Judd in a couple of TNG episodes.
Now, Leffler, a moment of your time, please. You know Robin Leffler?
Of course. What is our sensor status?
We figured out a way to do it by multiplexing the array.
Keep it up, Leslie.
And plenty of cameos of familiar faces. Even Jefficho oversees the sector from a starbase. He's still a dick.
Let's drop the ranks for a moment. I don't like you. I think you're insubordinate, arrogant, willful, and I don't think you're a particularly good first officer.
Now that the ranks are dropped, Captain, I don't like you either. You are arrogant and closed-minded. You need to control everything and everyone. And you don't inspire these people to go out of their way for you. You've got everybody wound up so tight. There's no joy in anything. I don't think you're a particularly good captain.
With almost 20 books in this series, and over 30 if you include the side stories, you have a well-written series that's been around since 1977. Definitely worth a look at while we wait for Discovery. One last fact about the New Frontier, Mackenzie Cowan actually beat the Kobayashi Maru by destroying the ship he was meant to rescue. The debris and explosion damaged the two surrounding warbirds, and he finished them off with phasers and torpedo barrages from the USS Intrepid. And then the third ship was easily beaten back. That's just a little taste of the well-crafted backstory we get in these books. I highly recommend them. Well, thanks for watching.
Stay tuned for our upcoming Star Trek Top 10 Reset Button episodes.
Should be fun.
Could you possibly try not to